Good evening, sim racing fans. It's SRW TV here once again. Tonight, it's round 4 of our NASCAR Truck Series. And as you can see, they are getting ready to go live as we're keeping an eye on the flag man here. It is Cowie, your average sim racer here tonight, together with the boss man, Steven Sinkovich, in the chair next to me. And Brett behind the scenes looking after the cameras. I'm a fill-in tonight, so this is all going to be pretty new to me, Stephen. How about yourself, buddy?
I'm the fill-in for the fill-in for the fill-in, so this is very, very new for me. I've been out in these trucks for a bit of a mayhem night, and they are a lot of fun to drive. I've never been out on a race for it, and this will be the first time commentating for it. So
Oh, wow.
I'm sure between the two of us, we will enjoy the action and talk about what's going on screen and what we know of this sport. And I've heard rumours that Mr. Tyson McAvoy might come in for a few technical follow-ups as well as we go.
Oh,
But look what they're
they are off
going
and
live.
racing, buddy. Yeah, 3 wide. They're going through the first turn, so now as they all slot back in just to file in and seat themselves. I think it's a 90-lap race tonight, so as they say, Stephen, you got to win it in the first corner, don't you?
We've got a bit of a push and shove in the back end across there. Two cars have made some contact against the wall, but it looks like we don't have a safety car or anything like that, and they're still going along, so hopefully they've cleared their path. It looks like the boys are sort of settled into the lines and starting to talk about and think about drafting and getting into their tactics early on by the look of it. There's no aggressive jumping or diving in on the curves.
Well, it is a 90-lap race tonight, buddy. Scotty Rattlegun Rankin's out in front there. I think I saw Ada Schultz running P3, an Ace P2, and it's Maddie Keane P3 at the moment. So the usual suspects from what I've seen looking through the ladder a bit earlier. Who's that down the bottom? Is that Hayden Norris trying to get a run up on the inside there? But it's early days, so he's making sure he keeps a bit of room. Don't want any contact early on.
No, and it's looks like there's someone's making the move there on Scotty, and Scotty's not going to fight too hard on this early pot in a track like this at 90 laps to go. He'd be using every strategy he's learnt out there from fuel saving, tyre saving, and you can see he's already going out as wide as he can when he can to maintain the pace of this car and staying away from the centre as much as possible when he needs to.
Well, we're here at Iowa Speedway. Sorry, I missed that there, Brett. Darren Palmer, we're having a look at him on screen at the moment. So he's running in P6 at the moment, up a couple of positions. Basically, every car in front of him is in their starting position as it stands. So it's all fairly sedate out on track. We've got, is that 11 runners out there tonight? And
That's good.
again,
So it's a regular, the regular 11 that get out there every week and grind doors and bang against walls. And I've seen some of the action. I do the highlights for this series every week. So some of the action's been pretty exceptional. And people out there that are watching it for the first time think it's just, the old cliche, going left, going left, going left. That is pretty much a cliche. There's a lot more to this style of racing than just going left. Strategy, the way they bank.
Well, apart from the fact that they also are boat to turn, I remember sort of trialling it a couple of seasons ago, I think, of Road America, and trying to get this thing turned around at a street circuit was crazy. So I'm sure the setups are different here tonight. As you said, it's generally about looking after your tyres and sort of taking advantage of the draft. And generally, the rule is you don't want to be leading coming into the last lap. You want to be behind that guy.
Yeah, either you've stamped your authority and you're way out front, or you're waiting for that moment to duck out of the slick stream and just get in, make your nose tight into the centre of the track. I've seen some pretty spectacular finishes in this league where guys have gone 3 wide around a corner and coming up to the finish line and literally nose, bumper, mirror difference crossing the line. So the boys are quite well and close in experience and quality of racing out here.
Well, it's also close on the ladder. I know 3 rounds in, and I'm just having a quick look at the ladder at the moment, and Scott Rattlegun Rankin has a 1-point lead over Matty Keane. and it's a further 4 points back to Glenn McLeod, and Aiden's only 3 points further back than that. So, there's still plenty of movement in this grid. I guess is that a 5-point difference, 4 or 5-point difference between in points for the different placings? So it's pretty close this early on, and I don't think
It is, and look, Aiden won this series, so he's a series champion from last season. And in his final race of the year for the championship round, he actually finished sixth and still won the title. So don't count Aiden out. This is round 3, and there's a long way to go. Still another 7 rounds to go. So Aiden's a smart cookie behind the wheel of these cars. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's probably a step ahead strategically. Ahead of some of these guys out here compared to the level of experience he's got. So it's going to be an interesting fight all the way through.
Well, you can see Matty Keane looking to swap that position around with him at this point. I'm sure Scott Rankin would be happy seeing these boys fighting in his mirrors behind him. But you can see there that now that the 3 of them are starting to work together, you can see that distance closing down. And that's really the secret to this driving. I know you're generally driving out there with a bunch of your spawn enemies on track. That's just the way it's supposed to be. But you've got to work together when someone tries to break away. It's almost like the Tour of France, isn't it? The peloton chasing down that lone pack driver out front.
Pretty much exactly that it is, mate. So they'll use the draft, and that guy that's third back, he'll be absorbing hardly anything, and probably get the best fuel save out of a lot of them. So he's in an awesome position. But you'll see every now and again they'll peel out a little bit and pick up less drafts and break away from each other. They don't want to give each other too much help, but they're happy to stay, these 3. And Matty Keane's a bit of a Scotty Rankin protege at the moment. Scotty Rankin's been helping him get up to grips with the NASCAR trucks.
I'm wondering, did we miss something early on? Because Glenn McLeod is running P11 at the moment and looks like he's like 30 seconds off the lead. So Brett,
There was a bump and run at the very beginning of the race. So
yeah,
we
I'm
might have
wondering either that or he missed the start. One of the two. Okay, so thanks for that, Brett, saying that he might have missed the start. So you guys out there in YouTube land know the secret. Let us know. Knoxville up and running. Yeah, I'm glad we're no longer near that track, Contagious. So thanks for the vote of confidence there. Oh, Truck Dirt Series.
Dirt Series. We had that mayhem, actually. We did that, and that was a load of fun. Yeah.
All right, well, having a look here at Michael Locke, so currently running in P7. He's up a couple of positions. It's Pete Jones in front of him that is the car that's a big mover. He's up 4, and Tyrone Walsh behind Michael here. He's up 4 as well. So, both these guys having a pretty good start. It's, Darren, Andrew and Glenn that were the big fall cars that, fell out there at the start. But it's still pretty close though. Scott Rankin's extended his lead a little? The boys caught up to him. I think that's come down, has it? No, he's looking back. He has
have a look at the map. He's crossing the finish line now, and these guys just coming out of the corner. So he's got himself a really good lead. Scotty's already thinking about pit stops at this point. He's thinking about how much time he's got ahead, how much time he can go in and out of a pit, and what time these guys are going to come out behind him. So he's well versed in that from his IndyCar experience, and he'll keep that strategy thinking in the back of his head. So he's always thinking strategy, Scotty.
Well, it's almost a 2-second gap there, so I'm wondering if one of the boys behind had a little mistake. I noticed that Hayden Norris has got through on Matty Keane, so whether Matty had a moment or not, that might have slowed them up. But Scott's got that lead out to over 2 seconds now, and at an oval track, that's a big lead.
Yeah. Well, what are they lapping in? What's their lap times at the moment? What are they hitting?
Sort of doing 23.66 is Scott Rankin's best. Did a 24.5 last lap. 23.7 for Aiden is his best, and he did a 24.8. So looks like they're sort of hovering in those mid to high 24s at the moment. Matty Keane 25.01 last lap. But we're seeing sort of Glenn McLeod right at the back. He's doing 24.6s, but 30 seconds back. That's pretty much a lap down. So
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. So he's pit lane across this. Not sure what the pit length is, but it's probably going to be in Scotty's brain already at this point, and he's probably already thinking about how much time that's going to be. So the Iowa, what's the pit lane? So those of you who can hear my keyboard typing lanes, because I'm actually typing it in to see what it is, because I'm curious and see what they say. Pit length is 500 feet, which is awesome because I've got no idea. 500 feet, that's about 180 metres or so. That can't be right. I'll translate that for you.
Divided by 3 and add a little bit, buddy. So that's about right. That is about right. Well, guys, this is round 4 of our NASCAR Truck Series. Of course, if you are enjoying the content, please give us a like and subscribe. Both Stephen and I are right in the deep end, so if we say something wrong, if we don't talk about the side draft or the bump draft as much as we should, let us know. Put some comments in the chat, and if you are enjoying it, give us a like. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the action.
Yeah.
Our broadcast tonight is only possible thanks to our big series sponsor, Warren and Brown, the promo department safety car. I'm sure these guys are. I'm not sure if we got. Yeah, we do have a safety car runner out there. So at the moment,
Yeah, we do. I don't think it's branded up,
clean.
but we do.
I was expecting to see carnage, so I was expecting to see the promo department car fairly early, and that hasn't happened, buddy.
No, I think it's still early times. It's people. By the time the next the first pit round comes through, I think we'll start seeing some people trying to make some moves in and out. Just to give you an update, it's 152.4 metres long, this pit lane, and it takes roughly 15 to 20 seconds for the guys to drive through it without a pit. So if they're doing a drive through, it'll take them about that long, plus their pit times, depending if they're going to take tyres or take full fuel or part fuel, depending what their strategies are on. So it's going to be interesting. At the moment, Scotty's already got, the
that's
a
that
nice
leads
big
out
long
to
gap across
3 seconds now. That leads. So
yeah.
whatever he's doing right, he's certainly got the car dialed in. And I mean, it's not that I don't think the guys are having poor lap times behind him, because they're still in the 24s and 25s. But you can see that I suppose if you're making 3 or 4 tenths a lap, we're already a third of the way through this race as we pass lap 30. So yeah, you're a couple of tenths quicker a lap. It only takes 5 laps to be a second ahead, and he's working. It's 3.6 now, so he's really working that.
Yeah, he's maintaining that gap and trying to get as much as he can at this point. He's a crafty old cat, our Scotty Rankin. Yeah, so he's got 9 point something seconds up on second place at this point. So he's doing well.
That's right. Yeah, so we must have missed something there, because Hayden Schultz and Matt Keefe are like 3 and 4 seconds back. Hayden Norris is about 4 seconds back from Scott Rankin. So something's happened there. Have you seen anything on the boards telling you something might have happened, Brett? Okay, nothing. So
the only thing I saw was at the beginning of the race, there was someone did hit the wall, and it might have slowed down a few characters at the back there, but that's all I sort of saw at that point. But look, it is what it is. Well, I'm sure they'll make it up, or they won't.
A little bump at the wrong time, or you've got to get out of the gas. That could easily cost you a lot of momentum around here. So
definitely.
Did
definitely,
you see
100%.
it on the stream, guys, and we missed it completely? Let us know out in the chat. All right.
So we've got you've got Andrew Proctor and Glenn McLeod 1 and 2 laps down. Hayden Norris and Aidan Schultz are now sitting at 0.5 apart from each other.
Yeah,
Scotty is just having a picnic out there. I'm surprised he's not eating his dinner, actually.
Well, Aidan's closing that gap in on Hayden, so it was Matt Keane that was the one that fell right off the back. Pete Jones is running pretty good. He's up 5 positions in P5, so as well, I wouldn't say slow and steady, Pete. Fast and steady is keeping you in the mix, and you can see he's got a. I'm just looking at his license rating. He's an A-class ballpoint 99 driver, so about as safe as they come, Pete Jones, and it's working for him tonight.
Yeah, Pete's pretty consistent out there. Yeah, actually, looking at all these names that are out there, they've all had their time to shine. The one that is surprising me is dropped down a bit is Matty Keane. He's like 3 seconds off Aiden Schultz. He's been up the front part of the pointy end of the track the last few weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong out there, people, but yeah, he's been a bit of a hound out there. He's actually doing really well across all his series at the moment. His racing has gone next level. He was fighting for the GT3s, not last round, the round before. He was in the V8s there and thereabouts the other night. Yeah, he's having a good trot.
Oh, V8s, that hurts me, man. Oh, last night USB drop out. I was having a crack of a race, running 12th in the field overall, and looking good at that safety car.
I think that was my fault, mate.
Oh, no.
I think it was my fault. I did give you a bit of a prop there at one point, but yeah, it probably would have been me giving you a prop, and then all of a sudden it just went sideways for you.
We're having a look at Andrew Proctor at the moment. So yeah, he's down a couple of spots so far off the grid. Still running pretty good times. His last lap was a 25.1, so it's good pace and very comparable to the guys around him. But you can see that yeah, he's got a bit of work to do to catch up onto the back of Michael Lock. There's about 3 seconds gap there. So yeah.
Yeah, Darren Robb's out there in sorry mate, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, it's all good. I was about to talk about Darren too, so but you've seen it as well.
Yeah, so Darren Robb's out there on YouTube land saying he couldn't make it tonight. It sucks how real life gets in the way, and then and our virtual life has to be put on hold. But he's giving a shout out to Pete Jones out there. So Pete's up 6 places. Tyrone Walsh is up 7 places. So Pete's doing really well, mate. He's still a lap down, but it's early days yet, mate. Early days.
All right, so and we'll see here the first of the pit stops starting. Matt Keane coming in, perhaps a lap early. It's been interesting. We've had green running so far, so the cars have been able to sort of get a bit of space, and I suppose we've seen their true pace early on in the race. But and it looks like these guys have been able to get to halfway through, almost halfway. That's lap 42. Matthew Keane is coming to the pits. We've also got Aiden Schultz coming into the pits as well now, so this will be that pit action that you were talking about, Stephen. So to see how this spices things up.
43 out of 90. So it's just, too short of halfway distance. So not knowing and not being an expert in these cars, maybe Darren Robb could give us a bit of a tip out in YouTube land. They might have to do one more pit, or maybe they're hoping for a safety car. Not 100% sure, but that looks like there could be some sort of strategy in play.
Oh, I think you're right, buddy. Just looking at that, because we're seeing a little bit of difference in the times, and we can see guys that are, maybe are they getting to that lap 45? Yes, see, there's a few of them that might make that, have made it to halfway, and they're coming in the pits now. That's interesting. Is it possible that a few of these drivers have decided to do an early pit stop?
Possibly. Maybe hoping for a safety car coming up later on in the race. That is a good chance for it. I'm not sure I've seen one of our races without a safety car. Darren Robbs, he said he would try to go to at least lap 50 if it's a full fuel, which I think it probably would be. I haven't seen like there's a reduction or anything like that, so I say that's what Scotty's. Has Scotty been in, has he?
Well, no, Scott hasn't been in yet. No, it's only Aiden, Schultz,
Scotty hasn't been in, so I reckon that's what Scotty's aiming for. Wow.
Well, I just think it's interesting because I know that, the last few rounds of the V8s have had a habit of being, one stop and then a splash. So I was
Yeah,
expecting that maybe fuel saving would come into it to stretch it. But if these guys are still pushing on, we're getting up to lap 48 now, and they're not really looking like coasting. So I would say that it's pretty much going to be a one-stopper, and there's a bit of a window for when you decide to do it. Do you do it early, try and get some track position, or wait late and run the car as light as possible?
yeah. Well, that's what Darren's saying in YouTube land as well. Yeah, less laps on fuel, less fuel to the end makes the car lighter and faster. I guess as the fuel deteriorates, there's less pressure on the tires as well. So the
While we're
strategy is
talking,
double pronged all the way.
While we're talking to you there, Darren, so is it also maybe a tyre thing? Like I know when I'm driving the V8 supercar, if it's on, I'll run long because I generally am harder on that second set of tyres than I am on the first set. It's almost like when you come out mid-stint, you've already been lapping, so you're pushing hard straight away, and I tend to chew up that second set of tyres. So
Yeah.
is that an option here too? Run a bit longer if you're doing good lap times and you've looked after them earlier, then that enables you to run long pretty good times, and then you come in have fresher rubber than maybe a few of your opponents out there.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're looking at the pit battle there already. Aiden knows what he's doing, so he's gone in for a shorter start, a longer second start. Unless I doubt if he'd have the balls to go a little bit lighter fuel and wait for a safety car. I think that'd be a bit dangerous at this
Yeah, and
point of the
if
race.
there was if it was to use a fast repair or fix a car, there was contact that was a fair bit earlier. So you thought if that
Yeah.
was going to, maybe that's the earliest the window that you could pit was around that lap 41, 42. But yep, okay, Darren, so you agree you'd like to have fresher tyres at the end. I suppose, when we start to look at these tactics, and it's a wonderful thing about motorsport is when you can delve into the real nitty and gritty when it comes to doing pit stops and how it all
Yeah.
peters out. But you've got to factor in the length of the pit lane, as you were talking about before, Stephen. If it's a long pit lane, then you're losing more time. So, track positions may be even more key. You've also got that disparity between how long it takes you to get those new tyres up to temperature. In the V8 supercar, it's barely half a lap, so every time you jump on tyres, you're going to be quicker. So,
How's this for a for an idea? And SRW always does something different. We're not the usual cats out there, and we've got people watching in YouTube land. You know what, Darren? If you've got time and you're in and you can get into Discord, pop in, mate. We'll drag you up into the chat room, and you can sit in here with me and Cowie, and we'll have a bit of a debate on strategy and stuff. So if you're free, mate, you're welcome
all
to come
right,
in and join us.
Scott Rattlegun Rankin has come into the pit lane as well, so that leaves just Michael Locke, I think, and Darren Parmenter as the last two cars to pit out there. That's interesting. So transit lane time is about 34, 35 seconds, and for between 13 and 15 seconds actually stopped in the lane. Stopped in your bay. So that's making up that sort of 48 to 50 seconds is the total time lost. But then you've got to look at what that next lap coming out is. So,
Well, Scotty's going to probably have the next next to Mr. Parmenter.
34. Well, there you go. There's a
Yeah, Scotty's going to
34
have
second.
the best tyres out there.
Well, as I said, when you're looking at this, you've got to think of it this way because now Scott's last lap time was a 54. So he was, 23, 30 seconds slower than normal. So it's not just the transit time, but it's that time that it takes to get up to speed
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
100%. But
I think it
don't
was
forget,
30.
right now he's got less fuel in that car than the guys around him have on fresher tyres as well because he's pitted later and he's had less fuel to fill
No,
into there as well. So
he's had a mistake there, Scott, because he's back down to 23, and I thought I saw a 34-second lap for Scott, and I'm thinking, okay, so you lose about another 10 seconds getting back up to speed, but then I saw a 54. Is there anything on the The chart's saying there was a big Scotty Rattlegun Rankin moment, or not?
It doesn't
It
look
might
like
have just been a glitch in SDK that I
possibly.
saw, because I just happened to be looking at the
He's
time.
sitting, you know,
P3 now.
5.6, the same as Hayden Norris at the moment. So
Well, no,
it
Scott
could be
was at
deadly. I
least
think his
3 or
strategy
4
will be
seconds in front.
on
He was
point.
3. Well, he was 3 or
That's
4
one
seconds
thing
in
he doesn't
front.
stuff up his strategies. He does drop his cookie sometimes, and and the race falls apart on him. Or if
Well,
he's
hang on.
racing with me as a
Okay,
teammate, I take him out. But his strategy is usually on point.
he's had a moment coming into or out of the pits, I think, there, because I'm looking at his pit lane time. Total pit lane time was
Here we are. I found someone who might be able to give us a bit of a heads up. Mr. Rob, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Sitting on the outer tonight, mate. Couldn't come out because of real life. It sucks, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
family stuff. Yeah.
What are you making of the race tonight?
I just watching the last probably 20 or so laps. Not too bad. So
Boys are settled into their rhythm. Scotty's.
Yep.
Do you reckon Scotty's on par for his strategy?
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, he's
I'm
got
just thinking,
he's got him latest.
he was 4 seconds in front when they pitted. When Aiden pitted, he was at least 4 seconds in front of him, and now and then he was 4 or 5 back. So yes, I think there might have been a mistake there, but he's now hunting it down. Now it is only 2.1 seconds from Aiden Schultz back to Scott Rankin, and then it's a further 2.8 seconds back to Hayden Norris in P3. So Darren, yeah, so you're a fan of the NASCAR trucks?
Yeah. Actually, me and Pete Jones are part of the Ryco
Here
development
we go.
drivers.
Been ready to make contact. Looks like with Darren Parmenter. Don't know
That's
what the
gonna
full
be out.
impact of that was.
That's our first yellow of the night there, by the looks of it as well. So
Oh,
I
So
might
he's
try and have
gone
a
out
look and see.
wide to get his pace up. Coming back in.
He's just
Oh,
crossed up. I think
he's coming back in. He's going back out.
well, I think Darren sort of has had a bit of an understeer moment and come up, because you can see he's gone low here, so it's very shallow. And if he's carrying a lot of speed, I think the cars are all it's just drifting up. So he's
yeah.
coming up to take the high line. He wasn't even thinking about Scott being there, I think. Didn't even notice him in his mirrors. He was just taking a normal line, going to float up wide.
That's pretty much typical of Scotty's luck.
Well, it will be a safety car out, and Aiden Schultz, Scott Rattlegun, Rankin, and Hayden Norris all coming into the pits. So I'm sure he will have a fast repair that will at least keep him in the game. Tyrone Walsh has stayed out. That's interesting. Pete Jones has come into the pits. So a couple of guys choosing to stay out and gate track position.
Darren, at this point, are they taking full tyres or are they just taking selected tyres and full fuel?
I'll just take four tyres.
Just the 4 tyres, no fuel?
Yep. No fuel.
So just getting ready to make sure they've got the good treads under their feet and be able to battle for the last, what do we got? We've got how many laps left?
25.
25. So this is pretty much going to be a sprint to the end now.
Yeah. I'd even go as far as chuck some more tape on the front of it.
This is the old gaffer.
See
You can't
how
get
it
away
all-
with that gaffer, eh?
Okay, so gonna have a look to see how it's panned out here. Okay, so we've got a couple more cars coming into the pit lane as well.
Well, Glenn McLeod and I don't know who that was beside him getting in the pit lane nearly had contact on the way in as well. So
Brad
the
Mace,
boys
I
are,
think it was.
yeah. All right, so what do we got as track position now?
So
Cowie?
I've got as Tyrone Walsh running P1, Scott Rankin P2, Aiden Schultz P3. So Scott was able to jump Aiden in the pit stop there. That's pretty good work. Andrew Proctor running P4, Hayden Norris P5, Pete Jones back in P6. So Michael Locke P7 and Matty Keane in P8. So Interesting.
Darren, what's your mindset on this point of the race coming out of the safety car? Are you going to try to sit behind and get as much draft, or be aggressive and cut on the inside?
Oh, try a bit of both. Try and if you're up in the front, go for leaders, or if you're leading, try and get a break on them. Hopefully, they start fighting behind you.
Get some aggression behind you, and hopefully they drift away from you once they started fighting for it.
Yeah.
Well, looking at this lineup here, here we go. Scotty's making his way. Scotty's sitting in third place at the moment. So is he out of position here or what?
I think that might have been a blue flag car. Andrew Proctor's coming
lap car.
in the pits.
Lap car?
Lap car down a lap.
Okay.
Just got out of the way. So it is Tyron Ross, Scott Rankin, Aidan Schultz, Hayden Norris, Pete Norris, Andrew Proctor. They are the top six that will be battling. But we know that who got down a lap, I think Michael Locke is down a lap. So yeah, so Andrew Proctor is the last car on the lead lap.
Matty Keane, Glenn McLeod, Bradley Mays, Darren Parmenter, all lap down. Yeah. Michael Locke is still on the actual main lap, but he's just down the very arse end of it by the look of it.
58 seconds behind, it's saying here, so that would normally mean he's a lap down, I would think.
I think iRacing just hasn't acknowledged it at this point.
I'm just looking at Andrew Proctor, and all those guys in front of him on track are down a lap. Well, the safety car is clearing away now, so Michael, there you go, Michael Locke has got a lucky dog by the looks of that, and a wave around. 8's back, okay. So it was Michael Locke now on the lead lap, so Matty Keane would be... Well, he might have got a chance to get past, get the wave around there, but it's only one car that gets it in NASCAR, isn't it? The lucky dog. A lap down.
Why don't we do that in V8 supercars? I could do that every lap, every race.
Oh, there's enough carnage with the Super V8 sometimes. All right, here we go, guys. We are 23 laps to go here at Iowa Speedway. This is round 4 of the NASCAR Trucks for SRW, and a great launch there by Tyrone Walsh. Aidan Schultz trying to run Rankin out wide, and it's costing a bit of speed there. Yeah, it's cost Scotty quite a bit of speed. There's that Hayden Norris looking to try, and Tyrone Walsh has ended up on the inside and got well offline, so I think he might have had a bit of a moment. He's had to get out of it there, and you can now see that Hayden Norris has come through on his teammate there, so as the cars file in line astern once again. Aidan Schultz, I know he's had a fair bit of experience in driving NASCARs on iRacing here. Involved in his own series and that as well. So, and he's had a big moment there on the exit, and there's a car behind. I think that was
Matty Keane has gone for some grass cutting at the moment.
Oh, it was
no, Matty. Just because I'm here commentating doesn't mean you drive like I do, mate.
Someone that was his big moment there, but that was a great save by Aidan because
Scotty Rankin just taking back the lead position over Aidan while Aidan did that little shimmy down the straight. And these three guys look like they're settled in.
NASCAR trucks, you might as well call them a V8 ute, really. And we know what utes are all about here in Australia, so that means that there's no weight in the back end of these things. So when they do step out, it can certainly be a ride. Have a look here. Hayden Norris is starting to apply some pressure to Aidan. Getting in time, and you just get that double draft. And you'll see here, it'll look to go down the inside. A little bit of contact.
Oh, I can see that happening.
Oh, no, and that second little tap there. Jeez, Aidan's done well.
Man. What's your take on that, Rob? Is that Aidan's fault coming down, or is that...
Oh, he almost reversed into...
Probably on 20, I think it was. Replay.
Yeah, there we go. So, but see that second tap, which might actually be netcode, but...
Also, Aidan to get the wall going in there as well.
Yeah, so, well, he's already, his car's already stepping out a little. And
he just got the wall just there.
So is that why Aiden's car's coming down, drifting over the top of Tyler, of Tyrone, or that was
Yeah,
just the race line?
That's more silver racing, isn't it? I guess he's got the wall a little bit, come down a little bit, and just make contact.
Yeah. Let's see what let's see what RC says about it.
That's my call.
Robin's
Fire and
racing,
stuff.
and it was a great save to hang on to it. I think because he,
Yeah.
well, I know if that happened to me, it'd probably going into the wall, and I'd probably run out of fast repairs by now. So,
Oh, mate,
but
you know where I'd be, don't you? I'd be out in the crowd. I'd be out in the crowd.
well, there was a call on race control there too to ask about when he reversed back down as well.
So 020's got
Oh, Hayden Norris has been given an end of line penalty for that contact. So,
Aiden just asked if he gets his position back.
No.
Tyson
Oh,
just said you
Tyson.
can have second last.
Oh, that's harsh. That is harsh.
Oh, damn. Darren, how's your
Alright.
experience in this series been so far, mate? You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed last season when Pete ran, but I hadn't had time to do it this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm keen to get back into it. So
Yeah. It sucks when real life gets in the way.
I love it. Yeah, go to Bristol. Put the
Hi,
truck
guys,
on
that's
dirt,
Brett.
Bristol.
Brett asking about the trucks. So, a Bristol fan. I did have a go trying to drive a V8 supercar on the dirt, and that was crazy enough. I can just imagine what these things would be like on the dirt. I did try out the sprint cars when we were running it for SRW, and that was a great bit of fun.
Yeah.
Because
It was short-lived. Unfortunately, we need volume of drivers on the track to justify it on screen and the cost of it all.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I mean, it's one of those things. We want to run the popular events. If you guys out there have got an idea what you reckon we should give a go, well, SRW is a community, so everyone has a voice. Come on down. Start by clicking that like button and subscribe, and then you can jump over and join us on our Discord. Go through our website simracingworld.com.au, and all of the links there. And there is a bunch of friendly chaps that will be more than happy to help you out and get you, started on your SRW journey.
Yeah, it's one thing we do well is we do sorry, I could hear that takes you around me. I could hear what's going on the track. We do have a habit of trying to get people to join and develop as drivers as they come through. You don't have to be the best in the on track. Come out and have fun, and that's what we've always tried to do. I mean, you look at the Toyota GR86 series, which has gone absolutely nuts. And there's a lot of guys that are discovering that. Even the guys that don't even drive anything but V8s have discovered that that's actually fun to drive. And
I joined in to jump on the GT cars there for a few Friday nights while I didn't have some gigs, and thoroughly enjoyed that. Unfortunately, but I'll be away for the next few weeks as the music kicks back into gear again. But it's been really good driving other cars. Again, I mean, we want numbers out there. We want the big popular leagues. So, if you guys, I know the F3's on Wednesday night, mate, is going gunbusters. The TCRs, I think, had almost 20 cars last week, which is great to see. And the action in those has been
it looks like they're just about ready. You've got a good point out here is Peter Jones is sitting in 10th place, started in 10th and he's in second place in the grid at the moment. He's had a massive move up forward.
Yeah, he's positioned himself in a good spot here for this final run. I think we're going to only have about 15 or so laps. 13 laps to go. There we go. I agree. There's contact. Oh, no.
Who was that?
That's Tyrone Walsh caught up in that.
Yeah, but who was the nose in between the two cars?
And I think that might have been, is that Matty
Was that
Keane as
Ada?
well? So what's happened?
Yeah.
Someone's just got on the loud pedal too early, have they? Or, oh no, there's a tap there. There's a little bit of contact. Oh no. And I think that was Aiden Schultz involved in that.
Yeah,
So, he's one of our front runners in the series at the moment as well. Remember, it is a 1-point advantage Scott Rattlegun Rankin has over Matty Keane. Glenn McLeod is not here tonight, and Aiden Schultz is still.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, he's there. Oh no,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is
yeah.
there.
Glenn
I
McLeod's
apologise.
sitting
He's
in
running
sixth place, mate.
P6.
Yeah.
That's right. He was a lap down before, but he's had that lucky
Yeah.
dog, and he's back in the hunt. I do stand corrected there. Gladly corrected, because that's going to keep this battle for the championship alive. And we're talking 11 points separating the top 5 cars after 3 rounds. So that's pretty close.
How many laps we got left?
About 12, I would think.
Inside of 10.
Well, at this
Safety
rate, we
car laps
might get
don't count, do
might
they?
get a white checker. What do they call it? Is it a green white checker?
What checker?
White checker, they call it. Okay, there you go.
Is Tyson trying to bump draft the safety car? I mean, I'm not Tyson.
That's
but
Scotty Ragland.
Scotty. Yeah.
Well, I think it's
So,
Mr. Jamie Dyke driving our safety car tonight. One of the Fishing Motorsports men. I know he had a great race last night. Put a podium for the V8s again. And but out in the safety car tonight. Though that livery, oh no, is that an iRacing livery? It hasn't loaded properly. Or is it an automatic
No, it's an
safety
automatic
car
one
for
here.
these ones? Yep. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
have to try and
yeah,
do
it's
something
an
about
automatic
that
one here.
livery.
Yeah,
But
we don't have
look,
a 9 laps to go.
it's going to be a
Well,
mad
the
dash.
fuel's out the window. Correct, Darren? That's all. That's
Yep,
all.
that's-
Everyone's going to
yeah.
make it now. Tyres is really. I think Rankin's the one that's pinned the last out of this crew.
Well, we've seen,
So
we
he's
just
going to
saw
be sitting on the
before
best tyres.
how easy it is to make contact sort of right at the start there.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, we
gonna
know
be all
how
about-
quick Aiden Schultz is. He's sitting in fifth. He's still got a chance of fighting his way through. He finds gaps real quick. But I'd say at this point, I think Scotty's going to have a little bit more experience than Matty Keane.
Oh, it's
And if
there's
he
only
doesn't
1
get
point
himself
separating
normal
them in the
Scotty Rankin
championship.
voodoo,
So
I reckon he
obviously
might
one
have
of them's
this.
had a great week, 1 week, while the other haven't, and they've been in the hunt. So all of these guys are regularly battling up the front of this field. So I suppose Pete Morris is probably the outlier. I think Pete's new to the series. It's his first night, and he's right in the thick of things. I can't see his name on the. Oh no, Pete Jones. I apologise. He has raced before, but hasn't got any points on the board. So, certainly making a good showing of it tonight. 8 laps to go. Will the safety car go in this lap? Is it normally 3 laps the safety car will do?
Yeah.
Or a 4?
Three.
Aha.
Okay.
So that the lights will go out and they'll do another lap with the lights
Yep.
out. So that's when you know that he's going. So that's pretty standard in motorsport these days. Okay, so Race Control has deemed that an NFA, that contact. So no further action. So maybe a bit of hard to assign blame to one or the other drivers. Generally, it's an NFA when Race Control can't work out who's at fault.
Yeah, or when it's just something that's just a racing thing, which is just not something that's avoidable. It's both cars.
That's
Both
right.
cars are equal fault.
That's exactly right. And I mean, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes it can be, but it can be something simple. But then again, if you're trying to go up the inside and bounce up a curb and hit someone, then generally you're going to cop the penalty. So I think there maybe both of them trying to occupy the same bit of real estate.
And safety car's pulling away.
Alrighty, so pretty much on the iRacing safety car at the moment, it goes into the pits, it's waiting on those green lights, so it's all about reaction. Oh, lights are back on, so something happened.
Yeah. Darren, you've raced this track before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good
Is there
track.
any
Oh,
special,
okay, so I think there might
any
have been a
special
bit of
quirks on this track?
contact there.
Not really. Just try to look after your tyres. And yeah.
It's standard oval, really.
All right, well, race he has extended it by a lap there, so now I think those lights are out again now, so it will be.
Be green
Yeah, it
this
looks
time
like there
around.
might have been a bit of contact in the trail there at some point. They have a bit of a chitter chatter. Okay, they're having a bit of a debate. I think it's going to escalate past the RC and see what happens.
Well, I think Matty's feeling like his car's come off a bit worse, so aware of the little bit of contact there. He's got a right hand down, so I have to see if that affects him too heavily. But here comes the pace car, and looks like it's gone green straight away. A good launch there from
Scotty's
Pete
holding them
Jones in
up. He hasn't got
P3.
one. Oh, here we go. Just goes out wide.
Scott went high there to try and brake and use that banking for a bit of a run, and it skipped him
done
out a little
well,
bit
hasn't he?
there. Pete
Oh,
Jones has got up the inside
Whoa,
of
they hit the wall
Andrew
and come back
Proctor.
across.
Oh no, was that another car into the wall back there? So we're going to have another yellow flag. So we do about 70 laps without a yellow, and suddenly it's all happening. As they say, safety cars breed safety cars.
Yep. Certainly does.
Here it is here. Okay.
He's just drifted up on him.
And he's gone into the wall there, come down, and I think that
Yeah.
might have been a bit of netco contact there, but I think is that Andrew Proctor. Oh yeah, no, there was contact there, and then there was another little tap. I think that secondary tap might have been more a reactionary sort of thing. Who was that? Was that?
Yeah, Proctor's been giving end of
Yeah.
line penalty. It's, you know what? I couldn't think of anything worse than being race control in this sort of scenario. I would hate it. I would hate it.
Oh, I've been watching YouTube, and there's so many channels of guys talking about, the good old cheating days in NASCAR, where they tried to get away with everything they could, to the point that they, some guys would have a separate car that's completely different, that's there just for the template. Those are rather ingenious. Things come out of it too.
Motor racing, it's not cheating. It's finding the loophole in the rules, and it's still done to this day very, very well. Formula One's a perfect example. V8 supercars have got the perfect examples. It's interpretation of rules. And
But in Formula One, what happens in Formula One? If it's not expensive, then it'll get adopted by everyone. If it's expensive, then the rest of the team's going, it's going to blow out the cost cap because we're all going to have to do the same thing. I mean, case in point, the DAS system that Mercedes had, the dual axis steering. The other teams basically got together and say, you've got to ban it, otherwise we're all going to have to put it in, and we want another 10% of the budget.
Yeah. The funny thing about that, the DAS system, was that it wasn't new. Mercedes didn't develop it, as it had actually been developed years ago, but no one thought it would be of any value to use. And then they came back and thought, yeah, we could actually get out. So they had problems getting their tyres up to temp. So that was perfect for them.
I was happy to see the magic brake bias button in the car in iRacing. So was it the WE12, was it, or the last of the beast Mercedes before the 2022?
The 3 laps to go. We've been chitter-chatting all the way through. The race has been extended to the green and white check and finish, which I guess means that we get that special little thing that happens in IndyCar before the final lap, which, no, I should say NASCAR before the final lap. And I've seen it happen a few times, but I have no idea what the hell goes on. Darren, put some light on the topic for me.
What about green, white checker? Or?
Yeah.
So basically, if is there 3 green 1 checkers or is there 1?
One of two. One of two.
1,
It
2.
says.
1 or 2, okay. So once you get your second one up, wherever it goes caution again, that's where the race finishes. No spots.
Right.
Okay.
So you only get a couple of attempts at the green
Yeah.
flag before it
And
finish under
as
safety
soon
car.
as the leader takes the white flag, it's it. There can't be no cautions.
And it will count the position the
Yeah.
lap before. So
No.
what's going on here? Scott has got a
Reckon
drive
going
through.
through
Is
the
there a
pit.
drive through there? That's a interesting decision here by Scott.
What's he done? Is he
Is he short on
underfilled
fuel?
or something?
No,
Yeah,
that's
is
a
he
drive
underfilled?
through. That's a drive through. He didn't stop there. Is he? Hang on. Maybe he is a lap short of fuel.
I wouldn't think so, but
No, he's parking it. Okay, so something
Yeah,
has
we
happened out
disconnected.
there.
that's strange.
So, well, it is Pete Jones sitting behind the safety car. So it will be between Pete Jones, Aidan Schultz, Matty Keane, and Hayden Norris. Glenn McLeod back up into P5 now too. So he's a chance as well. And, okay, there goes the safety car. And it is green. And look at that. They're trying to go 3 wide already. Is that Matty Keane trying to force his way through the middle? Hayden Schultz taking the high road. That's Hayden Norris taking the high road there as well. That his nose got cut off by Matty Keane. And it's Hayden Schultz and Pete Jones as we come around.
Copy.
Onto the last lap. Oh, he's got the car a bit sideways. But he's held on to it. It's Hayden Schultz. Looks like Hayden Schultz is going to get this one. He's had a great run from Matty Keane as well. Coming into the last complex now. So you can tell I'm a street racer when I say complex. Alright, is that... And is that the checker? Oh no, that was the checker. So Hayden Schultz has come away with victory in round 4 here at Iowa Speedway. Matty Keane bringing it home in P2, and Pete Jones, a great battle there, still coming away with P3 and 7 positions up on his qualifying, so a great result there for Pete Jones.
Wow. Well, what can I say? We had a driver pull out before the end of the race. Aidan Schultz, as I was predicting, he's a wily cat, is going to end up near the front somewhere, and he has. He's done. He's got there. I don't know how he's got there, but he has.
Well, he's got the job done and comes away with the W. Matty Keane, well, he had a fairly eventful race there in the middle, and but he's done well to get his car repaired and back up and put it on P2 for the grid. And as I said, Pete Jones, that was the car we were watching, not slow and steady, fast and steady, I said, but he was just driving his own race and put it in a position right at the end there. And I think he just got a little bit loose on the inside there and lost a bit of momentum. And I think it was sort of Matty Keane, Aidan Schultz that took that high line. They were all able to, carry a bit more speed and run away with it in the end. And now he gets to have a little bit of fun on stream. All right, well, race number 4 for SRW season NASCAR trucks. This is our first season for 2023. And my first time calling a NASCAR truck race. So I hope I did all right for you guys out there. Also, Steve's first time as well.
Being on
Yeah,
comms. Darren, is that your first time you've been dragged up into the booth?
For you guys, yeah, I've been dragging a bit other series, but
Yeah.
So
Well,
you think
thank you
you're going to be able to make
joining
it?
us, mate.
I was
No,
going to
all
say, you
good.
think you're going to be able to make it next week, buddy? You're going to try and work on the brownie point situation? So you ready for next week?
What's next Monday? 12. Yeah, should be able to hopefully.
Oh, well, there you go. So just had to check the diary, make sure the brownie points are all sort of set up, so the significant other's not going to get angry. But we'll see if we can bring up the finishing results there if we can, Brett. Have a look at our drivers tonight. That was a pretty good race. There was lots of action there at the end, but it is Aiden Schultz for the Southern Stars Esports Racing Team taking the victory tonight. Matty Keane for SLM Motorsports in P2. Hayden Norris for Wright Sim Racing P3. Pete Jones, I thought Pete had P4, P3, did he?
No, team
Hayden
runs
got him.
thousands.
Hayden got him. Oh, so Hayden got him. That's right, just around that last corner. So a great drive from our privateer, Pete. Glenn McLeod of Holtzfast Motorsports P5. Michael Locke for SLM Motorsports P6. Brad Mays for OMFG Motorsports. I won't actually say what that stands for on the stream. And Andrew Proctor, P8 for SLM as well. So three of the SLM boys there. Tyrone Walsh and Scott Rankin bringing up our last two positions. I think Darren crashed out earlier and Scott resigned there at the end. So we're not sure what happened there. But that is our results for tonight. Do we have our drivers in the green room?
Matty Keatoney's already left, so he won't be around. But Hayden Norris is coming
Yep.
up.
Hayden,
There you go, mate.
we've dragged you down into the room. You're probably in a conversation with Glenn there, buddy. But well done, P3 tonight. It was all fairly conservative race from you boys until about 20 laps through the end, and then it all started to happen.
Oh, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. It was good racing there at the start. It had some brilliant racing. It was fantastic. But yeah, those last 20 or 30 laps or something. Yeah, definitely not happy there.
So there was a little bit of contact sort of on the restart a couple of times there, and I suppose we're talking about an American Ute, really, aren't we? So it doesn't take much of a tap in the back end to step them out.
100%, mate. 100%. And I said, I reckon, there was some driving out there tonight that was substandard, 100%. But it is what it is. I can't complain about third. I got it by next to nothing at the end there. So on the podium for I think the first time this season. So pretty happy with that.
Oh, awesome, buddy. Yeah, look, I tried to have a drive of these when they were Road America last season, I think, mate. And I know I call the V8 supercar a bit of a boat sometimes, but I think these things are even worse.
Yeah, no, these things take the cake for sure. But yeah, I enjoy the road courses and these things personally. I reckon they're awesome fun. And I think the last season proved that I'm actually not too bad at these things on road courses too. So, but yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how tonight panned out. But there was wanted to have a chat to race control, but he was I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he did sound like he wasn't very happy with me or something. So, but onwards and upwards, mate.
Yeah,
nice,
well, look at, and we know that there's never any malice behind it. I mean, most of the guys here, we're all just trying to battle hard, and sometimes things happen out on track. You're not the first one to get black flag in the last week or so, buddy. So these things happen. But congratulations, and let us know who's supporting you boys out there.
And I just got to get it up 2 secs.
All good.
It's all good, mate.
Come on, you knew it was coming, mate.
Well, the boat ramp is number one, that's for sure. Actually, no, I'll rephrase that. Only ramps. So just all the guys, right, helping us, just talking a lot of banter, main sponsors: Bliss Homes, Mark Hughes Foundation, Gamer Gear Direct, and David Nash's Car Wash. And I think that's about it. Yeah.
Well done,
Awesome.
mate. Well done, that. I always appreciate seeing your only Rams livery on the cars. It always puts a smile on my face when I'm commentating and I see that car. I'm glad you guys still find the fun in the game. in the race, and
Simulation,
come out every week.
simulation. You said the word game.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Uh,
we're just all out here to have fun and put on a show.
yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
well done,
always
mate.
important
Well,
to get a
good
laugh
luck for
out
the
of it.
rest of the season, and yeah, we'll see how it all pans out for the rest of the year. The
Awesome.
rest,
Thanks,
I
gents.
should say, rest of the season, not year.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Cheers,
Thanks,
mate.
buddy.
Cheers.
Aiden Schultz, our winner tonight for round 4, buddy. It was fairly sedate running there by the three of you guys up front. I noticed that you guys fell a few seconds back from Scotty early on there. Was there a bit of rubbing going on in the middle of that race?
No, it's good to hear your voice, Troby. I didn't even know this was broadcast, man, to be honest. So we were told last week is not broadcast, so it's a pleasure. But no, Scotty had pace. I don't know why he disconnected, to be honest. He was definitely going to win that one. I changed my steering ratio coming into the race, which I shouldn't have done. But yeah, no, what went on tonight. It was a weird night. Definitely quick. Scotty had the pace, but good to get the win.
Well, I know you're a
Yeah,
fan of
I
these
thought
things.
to myself, the wily old cat, Aiden Schultz, who was sitting at 6th at one pace, and I thought he's going to work his way up the front. I don't know how he's going to do it, but you've
Is this
done it
Stevie?
again.
Is this Stevie?
Yeah, it is, mate. It is,
Yeah,
mate.
mate.
My
How are
first-
you, mate?
Good, mate. Good, mate. It's my first foray into NASCAR, so we dragged Darren Rowe up here to give us some technical background in there because we know I've got no idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to NASCAR. As a apart from appreciating the level of expertise that's involved in these things. It looks easy, but it's not by a long shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. But this league's really good. Like in relation to the people that are driving it, it's pretty good. Small field, but it's good. And yeah, I don't know what happened at the end there. Obviously, everyone's racing hard and everything, but yeah, it's different. I suppose
Racing.
people got to know to get the elbows out and know how to race and know the restarts. You know, on that restart where we had the incident. With about 6 to go, you're well entitled to go in the middle line and create a third line and pass on the outside. And people need to know that. And they got caught unstuck. And then we saw that again on the restart to win it on a green-white checker.
Yeah. Well, it looked nice, hard racing to me, but I can't even comment on RC decisions or what they're doing tonight because I wouldn't have the first clue of what NASCAR rules are. So I just enjoy the spectacle and enjoy the technical side of it all. But you know what, mate? I don't know how did you get up to the front? You were in 6th place at one point. Did you make up some time in the pits?
What did happen? I
Was it a
got
bit of
turned
contact?
around by Hayden, I think, accidentally. He turned me around and he
That's
got an end of
probably-
line, and then that put me back, and I had to work my way through. And then, that was pretty much it. But Scotty had that one, man. I don't know why he went into pit lane and
Yeah, not
disconnected
sure.
because that was his. But it was a good race nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly. Well, congratulations, mate. You want to shout out to any people that support you in your racing foray?
Yeah, 100%. I do. A new team, obviously, with LCR, ILP, Inside Lane Productions, Sim Sports tonight for the Ovals. So big shout out to Inside Lane Productions, all the boys. JDH Signs, J-Tune Automotive, HM Mechanical, Staunch Bull Bar, Matt's Car Care, and of course, my broadcast network, which we don't do a lot anymore, but Intersim Esports Network. And of course, a big shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. I didn't think you guys were broadcasting the trucks anymore, so really good to see you guys out there supporting that one as
had
well.
a night off, mate. But yeah, we had a night off, mate. We promised to finish it.
Oh, mate, well, you got to do that, mate. You got to do that. No, it's really good to see that. And no, it's just good. Hopefully that puts me in the top of the championship, and we're nearly halfway through, and hopefully I can go back to back after 3 starts of 3 seasons. First season P3 after missing around, second season winning it, and we're at the front again. But at the same time, all the other guys have gone next level, even though it's only little fields. I've got to have a big shout out to all the guys. It has gone next level, and it's really, really good racing with the guys in trucks. I'd like to see a lot more people in the trucks within SRW because it is well done. It's well run through race control as well. Everything's done great. So hopefully we can see a lot more people in. Big shout out to all the boys, Glenn and Haydo, Norris, and everyone in there. Unfortunate we didn't see Scholesy tonight, but yeah, it's been good. We'll see how we go. Long season left.
Yeah, correct, mate. Correct.
Trucks on Dirt was last week, actually. Yes, and you won that. Who would have thought that? I come second to you, but anyway. But no, it was good on Dirt. But hey, are you going to show up to Road Atlanta, mate? Are you going to show up to that? Well, do it, mate. Come on. Mate, I was running with a broken hand tonight, mate. So, mate, we can figure something out. I'm sure we can figure something out. We can put some paddles in there or something. We'll figure something out.
Oh, well. Well, thanks, Aiden.
congratulations.
Take care of yourself, mate, and good luck for the rest of the season, dude.
No worries, guys. Thanks so much, and congratulations to everyone. It was a good night.
Cheers.
Good job, Aiden.
See you, boys.
All right. Well, I suppose that brings us to the end of our broadcast here of the NASCAR Oval Truck Series here. It was certainly an interesting experience for me. It's a different type of call, and you get to see the safety car come out ungodly a number of times there at the end. But that's over racing, I suppose. Stephen, pleasure working with you, buddy.
Yeah, it was a fun night, man. It was a fun night. Tonight is my editing night. So I'm behind on my work schedule for SRW, but it's all good. It was a pleasure to be out here. Darren, thank you for joining us as well. Last minute drag in. I know that we talk a lot and give you a lot of airspace.
That's all right.
But and also thanks Brett for filling in as well, because he's usually out on track tonight rather than being behind here and producing for us.
Well, that's it, guys. And again, big thanks to Warren and Brown, our series sponsor, the promo department, our other sponsors as well, Fast Track Experiences, Racecraft Net, Grim Industries, Toy FC, Melville Equipment Corps, and Dragon RC. That will bring us to the end of our NASCAR truck series here at SRW. Of course, if you are enjoying the action, don't forget to give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and come along and have a drive. Join us for the mayhem that we have every night here at SRW. On behalf of the management team and our broadcast team, this is Cowie Overage Sim Racer signing off, saying thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next time on Sim Racing World TV.
To turn one, this is amazing.